Hi, my name is Paul Greenberg. I'm a language enthusiast from Toronto on an amazing journey with Anishinaabemowin.
Hi, I'm Isadore Toulouse, also known as Niswe Andeguk in my Anishinaabe name, which means three crows. And I am a specialist in Anishinaabemowin for the last 40 years.
We decided to create Paul and Isadore Living Anishinaabemowin to share our ongoing dialogue about and in the language with you all. We release episodes regularly and we hope that you enjoy watching it as much as we enjoy making it. If you think that what we are doing is worthwhile and should be seen by others, please hit the like button below. That's how we get seen. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the exciting things we have in store, please be sure to subscribe below. Make sure to turn notifications on so that you will know when we upload a new episode. Wiikwemikong. Okay, welcome to Paul and Isadore Living Anishinaabemowin, episode 5. Ani Isadore.
Ani Paul.
Anishinagige.
Abjugo nishin gindash.
Nishin. Nongwa gchiodena množiovat.
Oh, mnajoebat.
Ah.
Geni go abjugo mnajoebat mampi.
Nishin. Megwa mampi nistana shi shwaswe pitate.
Nishtan shi shwaswe pitate.
Woo! So actually, how would you say that? How would you say it's hot? I know gisina is cold, but if I wanted to say it's really hot like that, what would I say?
If you're outside, it would be gjate.
Gjate.
If you're inside, it would be gjinamde.
Gjinamde. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Interesting. So just like this is sort of perhaps a silly question, but like if you were standing in the doorway of your house, what would you say?
You would be gjinamde.
Gjinamde. Okay.
Right, because you are still in the confines of your home, of a building.
Okay, interesting. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Had a great weekend. I was at a powwow in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So how was that? What was that like?
Fantastic. There was so many people. It was just first powwow of the year and a half that we've been on lockdown. And I think everybody just needed to get out of their shells.
Mm-hmm. And so I've been to one powwow, which was here in Toronto, which was, I guess, was relatively small, but it was really, really powerful experience. Like it touched me a lot. And I was just curious. I think I only went for one day, but do they typically last for longer than a day?
Yeah, they usually have 3 grand entries. Usually Saturday at 1, Saturday at 7, and then Sunday at 12. Usually. But this one I went to, they had 4 grand entries. They had a grand entry on Friday night, Saturday 2 grand entries Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. Okay,
and sorry, what exactly is a grand entry?
Grand entry is when all of the flag bearers, the flag carriers, all the dignitaries come on to the powwow arena, and behind them all the dancers, the traditional women's traditional grass dance, shawl dance, jingle dress, and then from the older to the youngest.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I went to one. It was amazing. The thing that probably struck me the most was the feeling that I got physically and also emotionally from the drumming. It was like it was getting inside me. And what was interesting actually is after that I did learn that the word for drum, can you remind me what it is again? It's
Dewigan.
Okay. And what's in that word?
Dewigan comes from the word Ode, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Dewigan.
That's amazing. And I'm telling you, that's the feeling I swear that I got when I would hear.
Don't swear.
Sorry. But when I would hear the drum beat, it really had this feeling. It wasn't just like sort of music. It was something that was kind of coming from the earth inside you. It was a really unusual thing I'd never felt before. All right, so let's start. We're going to do our usual program. We'll do the questions, we'll do in the language, and then fun with words.
Mhm.
So we'll start with a question for you. I'm going to
All
pull
right.
this up. And the question really has to do with the language learning, in your 40 years of experience or 40 plus years. And so the question is, if you had a magic wand and could change one thing about the state of Anishinaabemowin learning today, what would you do?
My magic wand would be to wave the wand at every parent to be able to speak to their children in the language, be able to say this and that in Anishinaabemowin to their children. That would be my wish for my magic wand. And then the children being able to respond back.
Mm-hmm. What do you think stands in the way from that happening?
I think what stands in the way with that is just the English language has taken over the majority of, and it's easier to speak in English. It's easier to say things in the English language. So I think that's the major stumbling block.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean you've seen this sort of thing happen in other places with language revitalization, and the one common thing that I've seen wherever it's successful is it really requires like intentionality. You've got to be conscious of the fact that you're doing it and put the work in, which is not an easy thing, But on the flip side, if you have the gift, like if you actually have the language in you, to not share it, to me also is missing something,
Right.
So I hear you big time on that one. Okay, so let's come back to here, and I'll throw that up for you.
All right. Question for you, Paul.
Yes.
How would your life be different if you had been able to study Anishinaabemowin in elementary, middle, and high school?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this question pretty much from the very first day that I was exposed to Anishinaabemowin a couple of years ago, and just constantly feeling like I've told you this before, like how is it possible that I didn't know, that I'd never been exposed to it? I mean, it's almost criminal, right? But the flip side is I think, wow, like if I had, if I'd started in elementary school in, I don't know, grade 4 or 5, even just a few words, just something to kind of spark the curiosity, like, hey, there's this thing over here, even literally just a few words, a few minutes a week, few words, and being sort of exposed to the idea that this is the language that's originally from this place. I think that, if I'd done that, knowing what I know about myself and my interest in languages, for sure, I would have continued. For sure, I would have wanted to go deeper. I think the language itself, I can already see now, has an impact on my mentality and just how I feel. So that would be much deeper than it is now, because obviously I've only had a short, exposure up to this point. But I also think that my relationship to this place that we call Canada and even North America would have been very different. And I'll give you an example of something. I was actually just thinking about this the other day, that, growing up here in Canada under the sort of the flag of Canada, there's a very clear sense of identity versus the Americans, whether it's sporting events or politics or whatever it is. And it's like, they're Americans, we're Canadians, there's a difference. And even when you meet an American, something feels different, even if they're just from Buffalo or something.
Right.
But one of the things that struck me is the few times that I've been together when people, for instance, who are Anishinaabe coming from like Michigan or what have you, on the other side of Lake Ontario or Lake, like Michigan or what have you, is they don't feel different. Like it feels like it's all sort of part of the same people to me. And it's something I remember being conscious of the first time I met someone who said, I'm from Wiikwemikong, they're from America. But something about them, I didn't immediately think, oh, you're different. It felt kind of like, oh, you're just kind of like everyone else here,
Right.
And it was like you really had the sense that it's kind of like one nation. Like, it didn't feel like there's this sort of line that's drawn between people on either side of the border. So I think that would be different if I'd sort of been exposed to that earlier. And then the other thing is I would have had a lot more friends, who are Anishinaabe.
Right.
Because, I would have just been curious to venture off into this other world that wasn't sort of where I was, for sure. And anyway, so all of that stuff is, things that I'm sure will be different. I don't want to regret it or get angry about it. And as I've told you before, my main focus is to say, okay, let me just make up for lost time.
Right.
It was hidden from me. I can't change that, but what I can do now is do everything I can to learn and just get more exposure to it. So that's that. Let's go on to our ongoing dialogue with Bev.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is, this is me after listening to you last week. So hopefully I've done it justice. And I'm going to actually pull up the text here. So this is the message that we sent. So it was basically thanking her for her message, telling her that all the food she was talking about sounded delicious, and that I hope I could taste her food again. So it's a bit short and sweet. So I'll play that now.
Ani Bev, Wiikwemikong ga kidien. Kinago we, minapegota gwad. Ginamago wiba nda gijipedan, gdomi jim wiba. Nahao bama.
Okay, so I'm certain that it doesn't sound natural and native, but I'm trying, and I will keep trying.
That's right.
Okay, so that's what I sent to her, and then she sent back to me this message. So I'm just going to play first, and then we can talk about it.
All right.
Ani, Paul. Ni siya Wiikwemikong wibesay. Kapag kijiputan ni Benzema, o de haiwata en dat, ni sa haiwata ni enji jibakwe ni jibakwe gamgo so de gedake Mark ni gas station temla med de en design. How? Now ba mami no.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So Ani, Paul, of course, I understand. That's hello, Paul. And then maybe after that, if you could talk about the words in that first sentence.
All right. So mina jajgo, mina jajgo, and that says it is soon that you will be coming to Wiikwemikong. Mina jajgo. So it's asking, is it soon? Okay. Mina jajgo. Mina jigo. Sorry, mina jigo. Mina jigo. Wiikwemikong wibe jayin. Wibe, meaning to come towards. Wibe. That we tells you future tense. Wibe jayin. Ja is that verb to go. Jain, in makes it you singular. And Wiikwemikong is the community of Wiki.
Got it. Okay. So and then to get a little bit into the details there, the na, that mina, is that na the question marker?
Na makes it the question, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then yeah. So you said the we is the future. The be is kind of the act of doing, right?
The act of coming towards.
Towards. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the ja is to
go.
To go. Now, I was curious about something, and this is, we had this, I think, last episode or the previous episode where we were talking about some of the inconsistencies you see in the spelling, and how I initially was frustrated, but now for me, I just want to take it as like a fun thing to sort of guess, like figure out, is this the same thing as that? And so what I'm wondering is, in the Zhiyaawin, I see the apostrophe in, but sometimes you'll see yin, right, for that?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so let's go to the next one.
Kabe. Again, there's that be to come to come towards you. Ka tells you it's future tense. You will. Kabe gijipidan. Gijipadan is to come and taste. Gijipadan. You will come and taste. Ni'i menzama. What I am cooking. Ni'i. Ni'i is what it is. Ni'i menzama. What I am cooking.
Okay, so a few questions here. So ni'i is a word that she uses a lot. Is this something that's particular to Bev, or would you hear any speaker using ni'i as frequently as she does? you
As
think?
yeah, she uses it quite frequently, but
Okay.
but everybody would do the same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want to ask you. So gijipadan, we had a word last week which was in her message to me, I believe, where she was talking about shopping.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember what that word was? It was about what was it? Like oh no, it was when she was talking about, I think, going to Sudbury to do shopping for the East, but there was a word she had for shopping.
Gishpanadon?
Yes. Okay, so this is not the same thing.
This is not related to Gishpanadon and Gijipadan.
Okay, got it. So gijipadan is you will taste, and then
Gijipadan is to taste.
Okay. Is there anything in that word that would help sort of understand it?
Gijipadan. Gijitun is to try. Gijitun.
Okay.
I would say, Paul, Gijitun je Anishinaabemowin. Gijitun je Anishinaabemowin. Try to speak the language. So Gijipadan, pigud is taste good. Gijipagud, I mean, manapigud. So Gijipadan, that P in there tells you it's the tasting.
Awesome. Okay. All right. And then menzima. I've never seen that word before. And whenever I've sort of talked about cooking, I've tended to hear something related to jibakwe. So I'm curious, what's menzima?
Oh, okay. Menzima, that means that it is what I am cooking. Menzima. So the actual thing that you're cooking. Mimanda menzima. So she might be holding a scone or bread. Mimanda menzima. This is what I'm cooking. You can't say mimanda e jibakwe. Jibakwe. It doesn't make sense. She could say megwando jibakwe. I'm cooking right now. This is what I'm cooking. Mimanda menzima. So there's two different words that you can use for that cooking. Megwando jibakwe. I'm cooking right now. Mimanda menzima. This is what I'm cooking. Here's the bread. Mimanda menzima.
Okay, and in this menzima, is this a verb or a noun?
It is a verb.
Okay.
Mnazekwe is the form of cooking, finishing cooking.
Okay.
If I said ngimnazekwe, means I have finished cooking.
Okay.
So in this case, mimanda menzima, this is what I'm cooking.
Got it. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next one.
All right. Ude Hiawatha Enda. So here she's saying over there, Ude. Hiawatha is her niece, name of her niece, Hiawatha. Endot. Oh, there's way too many A's there. Endot. 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 Endot would be his or her place. So in this case, Ude Hiawatha Endot.
Okay. And when you say someone's place, does that mean the place they live, or could it be Hiawatha's like restaurant or some other place that she has?
No, Endot would be specifically where she lives.
Where she lives. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then?
And then she changes her story and says, Ni iksha. That's what it is. Gisha, meaning in this case, that what it is. Ksha. Hiawatha ni'i. There's that ni'i again. That what it is. Enje jibakwet, where she is cooking.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Ni'i ksha. Hiawatha enje jibakwet. Ni'i jibakwega mugons ude kita jibakwega mugons kamigons ude kita ke. So there's that ni'i again. Chibakwegam is the small kitchen that she has. So in this case, it's her little chip truck that she's talking about.
Okay.
Chibakwegam Ude again over there. Ude. Kidake is up the hill. Kidake.
Okay, so I have a few questions. Actually, I want to just go back to the previous sentence, if that's okay. So the
Sure.
enji jibakwet. I know jibakwet is basically. I believe jibakwet is he or she is cooking, right?
Right.
But the enje, what is the enje?
Enje, it makes it the location where she's cooking.
Ah, okay, got it. Okay.
Enje, yes.
Okay. All right, and then in the next sentence, so the one you just did, so the Wiikwemikong. So Wiikwe gamig, we had a few episodes ago, which is basically the kitchen,
Right.
right? And then there's a few things going on here, which is there's the locket of the ng, which basically means it's at the kitchen, but then the gongs, I guess, that ending makes it diminutive. So
It
like
makes it small. Yes.
right? So like
Yes.
like at that small kitchen. So as you
Right.
said, the small chip truck or what
Right.
have you. Okay, got it. Okay. And then in kidake, I haven't come across that word for on top of the hill, but is there anything in that word that
Gidake. It just means up the hill. Gidake.
Okay.
If I said nisake, would be down the hill.
Okay.
Gidake, nisake.
So okay, so actually then I have a question. In this in ake, is ake the word for earth or is that something else?
Gida. Hey, that does make sense. Yes. Gida would be on top of Gida, as in Gidjeing. Gida eke, meaning on top of that hill.
Right.
Gida. Hey, that makes sense.
Okay.
I just found the word.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Gida
Awesome.
eke.
Okay, nice. Okay, so the next one.
And then here she's adding English. Mark Ni'i, gas station Temagok. Temagok means where it's at. Temagok, where the gas station is at. So in this case, it's a gas station that belongs to Mark. Mark Ni'i, gas station Temagok. Mide enje daing. Mide is the oil or the gas. Mide. Enje is the location. Da-ing is where the word comes from. Odawe, meaning where it's sold. Enje odawing. Enje dying.
Got it. Okay, so some questions on this one. So temagak. I've also seen temagut, right?
Yes.
Is that a different word?
It's the same word, but it's used in a different context. If I said temagut, it means it is there. Temagut. But temaguk is where it's at.
Got it. Okay. So marketing gas station temaguk, mide, enjidaing. Okay. And so there's the same NG we had above with the NG
Right.
jibakwet, right?
NJ is the location.
And then we previously had dawegamik, so the store, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same?
It's the same word. Yes.
Same word. Okay.
Dawegamig. She just her pronunciation took away because the Dawa language takes away a lot of the syllables or of the consonants or vowels.
Okay, cool. All right, and then she finishes with Nahau Bama Minwa until next time. Okay, and actually, yeah, that's interesting. So she previously has said Nahau Bama, but this time she said Nahau Bama Minwa. So Minwa is again the next time or again. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to it again, and people can follow along with the Anishinaabemowin.
Ani, pau. Ni siya Wiikwemikong Wiikwemikong. Kapag kita ni Benzema, the high water and that, and sa high water ni NG Jibakwet ni Wiikwemikong so the gedake Mark ni gas station timber med det en design How? Nabamamino.
Okay, very nice. All right, so I am going to send her this message this week. So I'll just say in English first. We're going to get a little more courageous and do something longer this week. So I'm
Right.
going to say, hi, Bev. I don't know yet when I will be able to go to Wiikwemikong, but I will certainly let you know when I'm able to go. Please say hello to everyone there. And it would be wonderful if you can send a picture with your message from now on. That way I can include it in the weekly video that I make with Isadore. Thank you. Okay, later. Okay, so can I ask you to read this?
I certainly can.
Okay.
All right. So in the translation on the bottom, Ani Bev. Gawi ningi kendizin P megwatch gebejaya neab Wiikwemikong. Buch dashgo kawindamun P jiseya jejaya. Togo windamo ani kenawaya ude. Minwa apjidane shin gishpin jibinin dawayan mizinchigan P bijibigayan nungo matseg. Ni idash jidgosh magwa enso gunmegishgak mamwe mzinateshnang nin minwa Isadore. Miigwech. Nahao bama.
Okay, awesome. So there's a lot of new things in here, and I want to just maybe break this down with you.
Mm-hmm.
So after Ani Bev, we can talk about that first sentence.
All right. So gawi ningi kenzi. That word gawi it tells you that it's no. Gawi. So but and then when you add ningi kandizin, gawi ningi kandizin, which means I do not know. Now when we add the P, I do not know when. Gawi ningi kandizin P. And then we're adding megwaj. Megwaj tells you approximately. So I don't know when approximately. Ge be. Ge, future tense, be, to come over. Jayan, niab. Niab meaning returning to Wiikwemikong.
Okay, this is awesome. That was an amazing explanation. A few clarifications. So what I understand is typically when you have that negation, the gawi, it goes with si. Now I
Right.
see in here that this one we have zin at the end,
Right.
but that's the same thing, right? So it's the gawi zin.
Yes.
And so when we say gawi ingi kendezin means I do not know. If I were going to say I do know, what would I say?
Ningi kendan.
Okay, ningi kendan. And then when we negate it, we have the kawi si on the either end, then we say kawi ingi kendezin. Okay.
Right.
And then the P, megwaj. Is this megwaj in any way related to megwa, or is it completely different words?
No, two different words.
Okay. And then the gebi jayan, niab, you were saying to return, Wiikwemikong. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's go to the next one.
All right. Buch dashgo. Buch dashgo. Buch, how could I explain? Buch dashgo. Buch. But, okay. Buch dashgo. But I will tell you, kawin the moon. Ka, meaning that me, I will be doing something. Win the moon, I will tell you something. Let's just go with kawin the moon. P, there's that P again. Je sais yan. Je sais is when that chance happens. That yan tells you it's me singular.
Okay.
Buch dash go kawin the moon P je sais yan. Je jayan. Je to go. Me to go. Jijayan. Buch dash go kawin the moon P je sais yan jijayan.
Okay, and so yeah, super interesting. And I have a question. The jiseya, this is probably a stretch, but the verb to do, jichige, is that in any way related to jiseyan, or is that a different word?
The je would be the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So something to do with doing or being able
Yes.
to do something. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, and what about the next one?
So daga windmo. Windmo is tell him or her.
Mhm.
Daga tells you it's please. Daga, please.
Oh,
Daga
okay.
windmo. Ani. So
Hmm.
please tell him or her. So windmo would be him or her.
Hmm.
Ani. But in the continuum, you're saying kina woya. That means please tell everybody over there that I'm saying hello. Ani.
Okay, and then so the waya, what is that? Because kina on its own means everybody, doesn't it? Or does
No,
kina?
kina means all.
Oh, all. Okay, so the waya basically turns it into all the people, basically. All the,
Yes,
got it.
yes.
Okay, and then ode over there. Okay, all right, and then the next one.
All right. So minwa apjidanishin. Minwa means and or again. In this case, it means and.
Mhm.
Apje means very much so. Da future tense nishin meaning it is good. Apjidanishin.
Hmm.
It will be good. Apjidanishin.
Hmm.
Gishpin
Hmm.
if. Gishpin. Jibit nindaweyin. If to be able to send me jibinin daweyin mizinchigan, a picture.
Mhm.
Mizinchigan. P bijibigayin, when you write back. P bijibigayin nungo modseg, starting today. Nungo modseg.
Okay. Okay. So this is cool because, as I said before, when you start to see words you recognize. So meanwhile,
Mhm.
we know, apaji we know, the da nishin, got that. Gishpin we've seen before, meaning if, right?
Mhm.
And then the gb. So this b again is about sort of going toward or coming
Yep, coming towards you.
towards you, right?
Yep.
And then the nindawe is, you said that's to send.
To send, yes.
Okay. Is this just me, or am I seeing Nin and Dawe? Are those, is that just a coincidence?
That's just a coincidence.
Okay, all right. So Nin Dawe Yin. Okay, and then Mizinchigan I know is a picture, but what's in that word? Is there anything in that word?
Mizinchigan. Mizi is something that is showing.
Okay.
Okay. Mzinate se, meaning right now you and I are mzinate se on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a live shot.
Mm-hmm.
Gdo mzinate se me. So mzinchigan is a still photo.
Oh, right. So that that igan at the end makes it kind of like a thing or an object.
Right.
Got
Makes
it.
it an object.
Okay. And then what, like, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's other words that are sort of a similar root, like television or art. Is that right? So
Mzinate sejigan, television.
Mhm.
Bikwejigan, bread.
Mhm. Okay.
Bashkizigan, a gun.
Okay. And I'm just curious. This, I have no idea what the word for this is, but I'm wondering if it's related. How would you say mirror?
Wabmowin.
Oh, Wapmuin. Okay, so that's more about the light then.
No.
Or no?
Wabmowin would be the art of seeing.
Okay.
Nawabindis,
Hmm.
I see myself.
Okay.
Nawabindis.
Okay.
So this is the object, Wabmowin.
Wapmuin. Okay.
Wabmowin.
Okay. Okay. So then P and then B, Jibigeyin, which was, let me just make sure. So the picture when, oh yeah, when you write back to me.
When you write to me, yes, P
Write to me.
Bijibigayan. The bit tells you is that when she's writing back.
Okay, and then nongo today or now, and matsek is, I guess, starting from.
Yeah, started from today. Motseg, Nungo Motseg.
Okay. Okay. And then, yeah, the next sentence.
Niidash. And then so to be able, jidagushmagwa. Degushmagwa, meaning to be able to put them together. Degushmagwa. Degushmagwa. To be able to put them together.
Mhm.
Ensa nagunamegishguk every Sunday. Ensa nagunamegishguk every once a week, more or less.
Mhm.
Okay. Mamwe mzinatesh nang. Mamwe is that we're both together here. Mamwe. Mzinatesh nang, meaning you and I are pictured together.
Mhm.
Nin minwa Isadore. So you're saying me and Isadore.
Okay, so the nidash, I got that, and then the gosh magua. Is there anything in that word that kind of reveals what it means?
The gush would come from the same as the gushin, meaning arriving.
Okay.
So here you're asking her to send you pictures, the gush magwa, and you're going to compile them together.
Okay. Okay. And then enso means every, right?
Every, yes.
And then ngo is the one for each.
Ngo, one, yes.
One,
And
right.
it's ngo anamegishguk every once a week.
Every Sunday. Okay, got it. Mamawe mizinatishnan ni minwa Isadore migwesh nahabama. Okay. Great. Thank you. I will record this and send it to Bev.
All right.
So let's go on to fun with words. So today we are going to talk about feelings. So the word that we had initially was Zhiyaawin. Maybe you can just tell about that word.
All right. So the word, anytime you see the win ending, it tells you it's the art of or the way to. Zhiya. The word ya tells you meaning that he or she is there. Ya. Okay. If I would say Paul, ya, Toronto. Paul is in Toronto. Ya. All right. Zhiya would be the way the feelings are happening. Zhiyaawin.
Okay. Okay, super interesting. Now, there is obviously lots and lots and lots of feelings that we can have as human beings. So we didn't cover everything here, but we've got some of the main ones that people might want to use if they're speaking.
Right.
In general. So the first one.
Gichinendum. Gichinendum. Gichinendum refers to happiness, being happy. Gichinendum, he or she is happy. Paul Gichinendum, P wap mid. When he sees me, he's really happy.
That's true. That's
Chinendum. Chinendum.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to say I am happy, it would be Gichinendum.
So that would be putting the N sound at the beginning to make it me personal.
Right.
Now, if I were going to say you, would I put a G at the beginning? Like Gichinendam?
Yes, you would say Gichinendum. Gichinendum.
Okay. Okay, so what's in this word? I see Gichi, which we've had a lot, which basically means big or a lot.
Nendum comes from the word thinking. Gichinendum. So you're obviously showing the happy face, so meaning you're thinking good thoughts. Gichinendum.
Okay. And this shows up, I guess, a lot, as we're going to see, in words with to do with feeling, right? This nendam. Okay, so let's look at the next one.
Gisadendum. Again, feel the feeling of sadness. Gisadendum. Gisadendum. And coming from feeling down. Gisadendum.
Okay, wait a second. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. How did you say coming down the hill?
Nisa kie.
Is that the same sa?
Related? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So feeling feeling down, the gisa.
Feeling down.
Okay.
Awesome. Manadendam.
Mhm.
Manadendam.
Mm.
Mana, if I said manadad meaning it is rough looking. Manadad. If I said manadad mikan, the road is rough.
Mm.
Manadad. So manadendam, thinking rough thoughts.
Mm.
Manadendam, anger.
Okay.
Mamkadendam. Mamkadendam.
Mhm.
Mamkadendam is the surprise. Mamkadendam.
Mhm. Okay. And is there anything in mamka that?
Momcod. If I said momcod ze would be meaning he or she is showing off, so showing surprised looks.
Okay.
Momcod ze.
Okay. So mamka denam.
Mm-hmm. Zegze. Zegze. So that word to be afraid. Zegze.
Mhm.
If I said zegmo mikan. Zegmo mikan. The road is so windy, it's scary.
Mm.
Zegmo mikan.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm, mm. Okay.
If I said zegpo.
Mhm.
Coming from zokpo, meaning it is snowing,
Mhm.
zegpo, meaning it is a blizzard, like a big snow.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
Scary snow.
Interesting. Okay.
Minna, there's the minna to do good. Something that is good.
Mhm.
Minnowendum, good thoughts.
Mhm.
Minnowendum.
Mhm. Okay.
Zagege. Zagege, meaning to love. To love someone.
Mhm.
Zagege.
Okay. Now, this one, actually, I had some questions, and this is also picking up a little bit on some things we were talking about earlier. So the first question I have is this something that would only apply if you love a person, or what if you were talking about loving your dog or loving the taste of a food or what have you? Could you still use this word?
No, there would
No?
be different words for each of those
Okay.
scenarios.
Okay. So this is specifically about loving someone.
Yeah, zagege.
Okay. All right. So then we also were talking about the word zagton.
Right.
And Zagdewin, I guess it's
Zagedwin, right?
Zagdewin. So Zagdewin, I guess, because you were actually talking about this a little earlier in this episode, the win basically makes it or actually we were talking about with the Zhiyaawin, right?
Right.
So Zagdewin is basically love as a concept or a
Right.
noun,
Yes.
right?
Zagedwin, the art of loving,
Art
the
of
way
loving.
to love.
Okay. So what about Zagto?
Zaktun would be an action of an object. So, for example, Zaktun nibishabo. I love my tea.
Okay.
Zaktun.
Hmm.
Zaktun mbabugoyan. I love my shirt.
Hmm.
Zaktun. Okay. Zaktun gigdobiapkons. I love my telephone, my cell phone. Zaktun. If it's an animate object, it would be nzaga.
Mhm.
Nzaga bijike. Nzaga bijike.
Mhm.
But if I love the meat of the cow,
Mhm.
like the beef, I would say nzaktun bijike wias.
Mhm.
Zaktun bijike wias.
Okay. And then sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, nzaktun gokoshwias.
Mhm.
Zaktun gokoshwias. I love pig meat, bacon.
Mhm.
Gokoshwias.
Mhm. Okay, and then can you use zagege in a sentence?
Zagige, meaning he or she loves in general.
Mhm.
Zagige.
Hmm.
Okay. If I wanted to say Isadore Zagan Gwisan, Isadore loves his son.
Mhm.
Zagan. Isadore Zagan Guisan.
Okay. And that is a form of this word zagege, right?
Right.
Zagan. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, last one.
Mommy Quendum.
Mhm.
Mommy Quendum would be excited, overjoyed. Mommy Quendum. Wow, it's time for class. Mommy Quendum. It's big happiness,
Mhm.
excitement. Mommy Quendum.
And this is actually one that I picked up from Bev.
Okay.
If you remember, she said that she was excited to receive my message in the
Right,
language.
right.
Now, is Mami Kwendam and then Mam Kadendam, is that mom at the beginning related, or are those two different things?
Yeah, they're related.
Okay. So it's sort of this kind of like excitement or surprise or
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, cool. So Isadore, we are at the end of our episode. It always comes quicker than I expect.
That was fast.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. And we've got some cool things coming up as you and I have been talking,
Right.
things that we'll be doing. So for now, I enjoyed this a lot. And Bama Minwa Kawagmin.
It's been a pleasure, always a pleasure. Bamapi.
Okay, thank you, Isadore.
Ow.
If you enjoyed this video and think that others should see it, please hit the like button below. All likes help us get seen by others. And of course, be sure to subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all new episodes. Make sure to turn notifications on so that you will know when we upload a new episode. Miigwech!